Welcome to Seasons of Life, a biblical perspective for how to navigate life's ups and downs. Do you feel overwhelmed? Or do you feel successful? Experiencing loss? This weekly 15-minute word of inspiration will motivate you to live with more wisdom and peace. Here is your host, Pastor Mercy Oduah.
Welcome to Seasons of Life, a biblical viewpoint for handling your life challenges. The goal of my 10 minutes inspirational talk is to let you know that seasons of life are inevitable. The good seasons and the bad seasons, they are inevitable. And I'm here to offer you a spiritual guide and support as you go through the ups and downs of life. I emphasize that I am sharing my experience from grief and loss, hoping that they will benefit you as you go through the ups and downs of your life. If you missed the previous episodes, you can go back and listen to them. Today is episode 14, and I am going to talk about a strong and powerful spiritual armor known as wisdom. Yes, wisdom is a powerful spiritual armor, and it is a great thing to have as a believer, as a child of God. What is an armor? An armor is a protective shield to protect from the attack of the enemy. It is a shield that the soldiers, the army, put upon them so that when the bullet comes, it will not hit them. So in spiritual things, we have protective armors such as prayer, faith, and fasting, and wisdom. So today, I am going to talk about wisdom because you need the wisdom of God as you go through the seasons of life, especially the bad seasons, so that you don't make mistake. Naturally, wisdom can be defined as having a quality experience, knowledge, and good judgment. Wisdom can be defined as quality experience, knowledge, and good judgment. Wisdom is also knowing when to apply knowledge. Wisdom is also knowing when to apply knowledge, how to put problem in their right perspective, and then how to impact that knowledge to others. Everything that we do in life needs knowledge. The teacher in the classroom, she needs knowledge to impart her knowledge to the student. Because if she impart her knowledge in the wrong way, it will be destructive. So wisdom is also knowing how to impact what you know to yourself, how to put problem in perspective, and then how to impart it to others. In Christian theology, wisdom is an aspect of God. Wisdom is an aspect of God, and biblical wisdom is true wisdom. Biblical wisdom is true wisdom. And that is what God wants us to have, the biblical wisdom. And the Bible describes that biblical wisdom as a gift from God. It is unnatural. It is unfamiliar to us. The book of Ephesians chapter 5 verse 15 tells us to be careful how we live. Be careful how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making good use of every opportunity. That sounds like a warning. Ephesians 5, chapter 15 tells you to be careful how you live, not as unwise person, but as wise person, making good use of every opportunity. Therefore, wisdom is necessary now for every season of our lives, the good season and the bad season. If you are in a good season and everything is going well, you still need wisdom to move. If you are in a bad season where everything is falling apart, you need wisdom even more to know how to deal with that situation. I want you to know that that situation that you're going through, that hopeless situation, that brokenness, divorce, and you don't know what to do, what you need is the wisdom of God. And God is willing to give it to you as you pray. Also, there are three types of wisdom. The wisdom that comes from heaven, the wisdom that comes from the world, and the wisdom that comes from the devil. These three wisdom have the power to affect how you deal with your seasons of life. They have the power to affect you. To obtain a biblical wisdom, you have to seek God. You don't buy it at the grocery store. You don't get it from your friends. You don't get it from within yourself. You have to seek God because God is the source of biblical wisdom. According to the book of James, chapter 1, verse 5, it says that if you lack wisdom, you seek God who will give it to you. The book of James chapter 1 verse 5 tells you to seek God for wisdom concerning that difficult situation in your life, and God will give it to you. Therefore, you see, we have an open invitation to seek God for wisdom. God is willing to give us that wisdom that we need. It is better not to rely on the wisdom of the world, but rather to rely on the wisdom of God, because the wisdom of from the world is earthly, is unspiritual, and is demonic, full of envy and selfishness. The wisdom that comes from the world is described as demonic, unspiritual, and earthly because it is full of envy and selfishness. In James chapter 3 verse 17, it says that the wisdom that comes from heaven is pure because it is peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit. Can you see the difference? Which one would you rather have? And you might say, oh, I don't know whether I have wisdom. I don't know whether I am making good decisions. Look at your fruit. Look at the fruit, because wisdom has fruit. So what fruit are you seeing? Do you have selfish motive? Are you envious? Especially in hard times, are you selfish and are you envious because you are going through bad time? If you are operating in the wisdom that comes from the world, and it will affect how you handle the circumstances of life. On the other hand, if you look at your fruit and your fruit is full of mercy, considerate, sincere, peace-loving, then you are operating from the wisdom from heaven. God wants us to have biblical wisdom for every seasons of our lives. God wants us to operate from his wisdom, regardless of how bad that situation is, regardless of what you are going through. You operate in the wisdom of God, because that will give you the victory. I want to give you a biblical example of operating in the wisdom of the world during her time. There is a man in the Bible. His name is Elkanah. He married two wives, and their names are Hannah and Peninnah. Elkanah is the husband, married two wives. Their names are Elkanah and Peninnah. Peninnah was able to have children, but Anna was not able to have children for her husband. She tried and she failed. She was miserable, she was envious, and she was not handling it well because she felt that Peninnah was mocking her. So Anna demanded that her husband must give her a child. And the husband, even though loved her more, was furious with her. And he asked her, "Am I God that gives children?" So Anna was miserable and was just envious of Peninnah. But after a while, she decided to change her mindset because she was operating in envy and selfishness. So she started to pray and she went to the house of the Lord to cry to the Lord. And in her desperation, she made a vow to God, asking for a male child. He asked God that she will give that child back to him if God will bless her with a male child. Can you imagine? Now Anna is operating from the wisdom that comes from above. You can see from her prayer point that she was willing now to give up that child. She became considerate, and that got the attention of God. Anna got the attention of God when she changed her focus by applying the wisdom that comes from above, by seeking God and by being considerate. And God granted her her request. God blessed her with Samuel, and Samuel was popular. Samuel became a priest, a prophet, and a judge. Can you believe that? Just a change of mindset. So it is important for you to take that situation that you're dealing with, take it to the Lord and ask God, give me the wisdom on how to deal with this child. Give me the wisdom about my career. Give me the wisdom on choosing my life partner. Lead me. I do not know how to lead myself. And you watch and see how God will direct you. So Anna's barrenness was resolved just because her mindset changed. She surrendered her feelings to the Lord. She decided to just be selfless by saying, "Lord, if you give me this male child, I will give him back to you to serve you." That is powerful. And at the end of the day, when Samuel grew up, she kept her vow. She brought Samuel to the house of the Lord, and Samuel grew and remained in the house of the Lord. Also, another example of how somebody apply the wisdom that comes from above is the story of Solomon. Solomon was a wonderful king, very popular. He is known as the wisest man ever lived. Why? Because when he became the king in Israel, God asked him to ask for anything. God appeared before him and said, "Solomon, I am pleased with you. ask for anything that you want from me. What did Solomon ask? Solomon asked God for wisdom. Solomon said, God, if you can give me wisdom so that I can be able to handle these people, to rule these people, that is powerful. That request touched the heart of God, and God had no choice than to bless Solomon. Not only did God give him wisdom, God gave him riches and wealth and all those things that Solomon did not ask. Solomon did not ask for the life of his enemies. No, Solomon was considerate, was kind in his request, because with wisdom, he became the richest man. And guess what? That wisdom that God gave him was put to test right away. Two women were claiming to be the mother of one child. One mother lost her child and through manipulation tried to steal another child. So two of them came before Solomon, the king. And Solomon said, what's the matter? This woman said, this is my son. And another woman said that the same child was her child. Solomon was like, wow, how can two women claim to be the mother of one child? Guess what happened? Because God gave Solomon that wisdom. Remember, I said that wisdom is a divine gift. It's something divine. When something is divine, it is unnatural. So Solomon applied that divine wisdom, and he was able to know the real mother of that child. He gave them a test. You can go and read it. And he was able to know the real mother of that child. And the whole Israel, they were amazed at the wisdom of Solomon. That other cities and nations, they came to see Solomon because Solomon became very popular. This is what wisdom can do. Wisdom can save you. Wisdom can make you popular. Wisdom can give you anything that you're looking for. So it is necessary for you to seek God's wisdom in that situation that you are dealing with. It is necessary for you to seek God's wisdom. And God's wisdom can come as a voice within you. You are going through something or you want to do something, and you can hear a voice that says, slow down, be patient, move, make peace. Your responsibility is to obey, because those voices, they are divine direction. They are the wisdom of God being revealed to you for that situation. It is common for people to give you advice when you are going through difficult times. Everybody wants to chip in to tell you what to do. Do this, do that. No, do not. You need to seek God. Your season of life will reveal what is inside of you. When you are going through that troubled time, are you impatient? Are you manipulative? Do you want to cuss people out and all those stuff? You are still operating in the wisdom of the world. But if you are calm and selfless and considerate, you are operating in the wisdom from above. So as I close, I leave you with the word of the Lord in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 5. If you lack wisdom, seek, and God will give you the wisdom that you're looking for to handle that situation, that difficult situation, that hopeless situation. So as I close, I say, may the Lord bless you, and may the Lord give you His wisdom to know what to do in that situation that you are facing. See you next week. Shalom to you.
Thank you for watching this episode of Seasons of Life. Until next time, be well, and may God bless you.